You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. LSU will wrap up spring on Saturday with the spring game, and we already know that one player is leaving, hitting the portal. On threes, Pete Nakos had it first. The Jaxon Howard, LSU defensive end, is entering the portal. A couple of things here. Howard, I do want to talk about Howard as a player and all of the stuff sort of that's entailed here. But I think the most important thing to remember here is Jaxon Howard might be the first LSU player to hit the portal here in this cycle, but he is most certainly not going to be the last. I did a very unofficial count today of LSU's roster. And with Jaxon Howard leaving, I believe they are at 88 scholarship players. Now, that's scholarship players for the fall. That means that's including the freshmen that are not here yet and the transfer players like Gio Paez who are not here yet. But so my unofficial count is that they're at 88. Meaning before you add anybody else, like if you want to go add another defensive lineman, you want to go add anybody else in this spring portal cycle, you gotta lose 3 more scholarship players before you even add anybody else. So they're heavy right now. So Jaxon Howard leaving is sort of a necessity, and you're going to see more scholarship players leave as well because you're heavy. You're over the scholarship number. And Brian Kelly has said they want to be more active in this spring portal window, especially at defensive line. So you're going to see more of this. So it's just part of it. Remember, in this day and age, every single school, every single program, without exception, in every portal window is going to have players leave. There are no exceptions. Because when you're talking about a roster of 85 scholarship players, someone in that 85 is going to not like their playing time, is going to want to seek an NIL opportunity. Without exception, every single program is going to have somebody leave. And LSU is going to have more. Howard, when he signed with LSU, was the number one player in the state of Minnesota. He was the number one player in the state of Minnesota, 6'4" defensive end. He was the number 16 edge rusher in the country, and Curtis Yvonne 3 was the number 120 overall player in the country. So a good prospect, a really good prospect. But I think while it's disappointing that a promising young player is leaving your program after 1 year, but this tells me 2 things. I have 2 big takeaways from this Jaxon Howard situation. One of them is going to underscore something I've said many times about other positions. 2 big takeaways. Number 1, you don't need to go to Minnesota to get a 4-star defensive end. Look, if you want to go to Michigan to get the number 1 player in the country for 2025, Bryce Underwood, yes. If you want to go to LA to get the number 1 cornerback in the country in Eli Ricks, yes. Going to Minnesota to get a 4-star defensive end who is the 16th best player in the country at his position, more in this era can go wrong than go right. For example, LSU just signed the 2024 class. Here are your edge rushers. Kalaj Cobbins. Anybody know where he's from? Muse, Paulie? Y'all know where Kalaj Cobbins is from?
I don't, but I'll say Georgia.
Destrehan. Yeah. Gabe Relaford. Anybody know where Gabe Relaford's from?
He's from Shreveport.
Shreveport. Where are Destrehan and Shreveport, by the way?
Louisiana.
Yes. Very good, Muse. Give yourself a ding.
All right.
One more. Ahmad Bro. Anybody know where Ahmad Bro is from?
Acadiana?
No, it'd be Ruston. Where is Ruston?
Louisiana.
So Destrehan, Shreveport, and Ruston. Anybody got the commonality?
Louisiana.
Oh my God, you're on fire today, Muse. I am so excited about this show today. I mean, just wait till about 420. It's all going to come crashing down from Hughes. But right now, he's on fire, Paulie. At 420, something else is going to be on fire. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sorry. They did also sign C.J. Jackson from Tucker, Georgia. Okay? So you had 4. But 3 of them are from Louisiana. This goes back to the point I made all last year with Brian Polian. When you looked at the cornerbacks that LSU was recruiting, and you're flying to Vegas to recruit a 3-star corner. You got to do that when you're at Notre Dame. You don't have to do that when you're at LSU. Just go down to the River Parishes, and Kalaj Cobbins is right there at Destrehan. Take a 20-minute flight to Shreveport and go see Gabe Relaford and Ahmad Bro. Like, you don't have to go to Minnesota to get a guy who's the 16th best player in the country at his position. If it's a 5-star number 1, yes. Bryce Underwood, absolutely. But this is the problem. You got so much talent in this state. And guys, and it's not to say Jaxon Howard isn't going to be a good player, but the point is, you get a guy from Louisiana that grew up aching to wear the purple and gold. It's all he ever wanted to do. He's more likely going to stay and grow and develop. Look at Savion Jones. It's a great example of that. A guy who stayed, waited his turn, and he's going to have 2 years as a starter. They're going to be good years as a starting defensive end for LSU. I can go through guys like Lloyd Cushenberry, a guy from Dutchtown, who waited his turn, finally became a starter, was a 2-year starter, got drafted, was the highest paid center in the league. Like, you're from Louisiana, you'll wait, you'll stay, you'll build continuity. It's why Brian Kelly wanted to go in the portal and get guys from Louisiana who wanted to play at LSU. So that's one big overarching takeaway. You don't have to go to St. Paul, Minnesota to get the 16th best defensive end in the country. That's 1. 2, your defensive line depth is good. I told you this coming out of the scrimmage on Saturday when we had media availability. The 1s on offense dominated the first defense. First offense dominated the first defense. But when the 2s went in, the defense had a noticeable upper hand. The 2s and the 3s. I told you, a guy like Gabe Relaford had some massive rep wins against Tyree Adams, who's running as your number 2 left tackle right now. I mean, we saw the 2s have the upper hand, which my takeaway is, yes, you have really good depth and young talent coming up on that defense that's going to make you much better in time. I mean, right now, your starting ends are Savion Jones and Braden Swinson. After that, it's Paris Shannon, Deshaun Womack. So at best, Jaxon Howard was going to be your 5th defensive end, at best, this year. He's in the 3 deep, at best, on the 3 deep. And now you've got Relaford and Bro and Cobbins. I know Kalaj Cobbins is listed as a linebacker, but when we saw him in practice, he's working with the ends. He's working with the edge rushers with Kevin Peoples. So, and you may go get more out of the portal. I guess my point is, you got plenty of good young talent on that defensive line. You never want to lose good young players, and I understand that, but it's part of the cycle now. You just have to replenish. But stick to your home base. Stick to your home base because, yeah, Kalaj Cobbins is right there, and Gabe Relaford is up there, and Ahmad Bro is over there. You don't have to leave the boot. You know who knows that? Frank Wilson knows that. You know who didn't understand that? Brian Polian. And Brian Kelly is now getting it as well. All right. Jaxon Howard, first to lead, but he ain't going to be the last. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.